Have you ever noticed a strange pattern in your life? You leave a job because of a difficult boss, only to find that your new boss has the exact same personality. You end a relationship because your partner was unreliable, only to find that your next partner triggers the exact same frustration. You move to a new city to find better people, yet somehow, the same conflicts keep following you across state lines. Stop trying to change the people around you. It is not working because you're trying to fix the reflection instead of the person in the mirror. Ancient wisdom says that every person you meet, especially the ones who annoy you, anger you, or trigger you, is a divine mirror held up to your own soul. You don't have a neighbor problem. You have a projection problem. The universe isn't happening to you. It is responding to you. It is a giant cosmic mirror held up by the Creator to show you exactly where you are healed and exactly where you are still broken. And once you understand the mirror's secret, you'll never see a stranger the same way again. Ever wonder why you keep meeting the same type of person? The same difficult boss? The same unreliable friend? It's because the universe is a closed loop. It will keep bringing you the same mirror until you heal the part of yourself that is reflecting it. This is why unity is the most important law, because there is no them. There's only the you that you haven't reconciled with yet. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. This is the hard truth of the mirror's secret. If there's a pattern of chaos in your life, there's a core of chaos in your spirit. If there's a pattern of being overlooked, there's a part of you that is overlooking your own divine value. The pattern is a silent magnet. It pulls people and circumstances toward you that match your internal blueprint. If you don't change the blueprint, you can move to the other side of the planet, and the magnet will simply find new people to play the old roles. Pattern recognition is the red pill moment. Once you see the pattern, you can no longer be a victim. A victim says, "This keeps happening to me." A master says, "I'm doing this, and now I can stop." To break the loop, you must stop reacting to the external person and start addressing the internal magnet. When the internal magnet changes, the characters in your life either change their behavior to match your new frequency, or they disappear from your life entirely because they no longer have a role to play in your story. The science of the shadow is the study of the psychological basement, where we store the parts of ourselves we have deemed unacceptable. From childhood, we are conditioned to suppress traits that don't fit our social or moral mask, whether that is raw anger, intense ambition, or even deep sensitivity. This rejected energy doesn't disappear, it becomes the shadow. Because the human psyche seeks wholeness, it uses a mechanism called projection to bring these hidden parts to our attention. This is a literal feedback loop where your consciousness projects your internal film onto the screen of the people around you. When you feel a visceral, irrational reaction to someone's behavior, their arrogance, their weakness, or their selfishness, you are experiencing a mirror event. Scientifically and spiritually, you cannot recognize a frequency in another person that you do not already possess. If you weren't wired with that trait, you would see it with neutrality rather than judgment. Therefore, your triggers are actually diagnostic tools. They point directly to the parts of yourself you have exiled. In the context of oneness, healing the world begins with shadow work, reclaiming these projected pieces, and realizing that the other is simply a personified version of your own unhealed soul. The 3 layers of the mirror function as a spiritual diagnostic tool, revealing that our external reality is actually a multi-dimensional map of our internal state. Understanding these layers allows us to decode every interaction as a message from the source. The first layer is the direct mirror. This is a one-to-one reflection of your current behavior or traits. If you are constantly encountering people who are dishonest or unreliable, the direct mirror asks you to look at where you are being untruthful with yourself or others. It is the most blunt form of feedback, showing you exactly what you are broadcasting into the collective field. The second layer is the judgment mirror. This is more subtle. It reflects what you have suppressed or outlawed within your own psyche. For example, if you feel a visceral hatred towards someone who is loud and attention-seeking, it is often because you have suppressed your own vibrant self-expression to fit in. You aren't judging their actions. You are judging the freedom they have to do what you've forbidden yourself from doing. The third layer is the reactive mirror. This reflects your expectations and your energetic posture. If you believe the world is a dangerous or hostile place, you will subconsciously project a frequency of defensiveness. The people you meet will react to that wall, mirroring back the very hostility you expected to find. By navigating these 3 layers, you realize that every other is a divine messenger. When you stop fighting the reflection and begin integrating these lessons, you achieve oneness, transforming the world by simply transforming yourself. How do we use this for oneness? Through a process called integration. When you realize that the other is a mirror, you stop being a victim of your environment. You become the alchemist. This is the ultimate shift from victimhood to mastery. Instead of saying, that person is toxic, you say, that person is highlighting a toxicity in the atmosphere that I have the power to heal. In traditional alchemy, the goal was to purify base metals in spiritual alchemy. But base metal is your reaction to the world. When you encounter someone who triggers irritation or judgment, the alchemical response is to look inward and ask, what frequency am I holding? That allows this reflection to exist by addressing the internal root, whether it is an old wound, a suppressed trait, or a limiting belief. You effectively change the blueprint of your reality. The miracle of this process is that once the internal shift is complete, the external world must respond. This is the law of resonance. When you heal the source, the mirror has nothing left to reflect but that healing. The difficult person either transforms their behavior to match your new vibration, or fades out of your life entirely. Spiritual alchemy proves that the most powerful way to change the world is to refine the soul behind the mirror. By changing your internal state, you actually force a change in the mirror. It is a spiritual law. When the object in front of the mirror changes, the reflection must change. You fix the world by healing the source of the reflection. Most people focus on the negative mirror, but the mirror's secret works for beauty, too. The kindness you see in a stranger, that is your kindness. The genius you admire in a leader, that is your potential. The peace you feel in nature, that is your original state. You cannot recognize something in another person unless the seed of that thing already exists within you. You literally cannot see a sunset as beautiful unless beauty is part of your own design. This is the ultimate testimony of oneness. We are a billion mirrors reflecting one single light. The path to oneness isn't about disliking everyone. It's about recognizing everyone. When you see someone who triggers you, instead of reacting, ask yourself, what part of me is this person showing me? When you forgive them, you are actually forgiving a hidden part of yourself. That is the only way to achieve true inner unity. The next person you see today is your mirror. What are they showing you? If you're ready to stop fighting the reflection and start healing the source, type I see me in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives into the secret laws of oneness. We are one. We'll see you in the next one.